Michael Hunter has called BS on claims by Martin Bakole and his trainer Billy Nelson that they have offered Michael Hunter a rematch recently. Michael Hunter says this is completely untrue, but he's actually really keen on a rematch with Martin Bakole. Now, for those of you who don't know, and I can't imagine there are many, Michael Hunter stopped Martin Bakole, gave him his first and only professional defeat several years ago at the York Hall Bethnal Green in London. Now, a lot of people have tried to discredit Michael Hunter's win over Martin Bakole by saying that Bakole wasn't himself, he was injured. If he'd been 100%, he would have beaten Michael Hunter, etc., etc. But when most other fighters blame a loss on an injury, the fans ain't having it. They're saying that the guy's using excuses and that he would have lost anyway. So why, in the case of Martin Bakole, do people believe the injury made all the difference, if there was an injury at all? Because people can claim injuries, and when we, the fans, don't see scans and don't see medical reports for ourselves, we just tend to take it all at face value, right? But then fighters can take advantage of that. Promoters can take advantage of that. Trainers can take advantage of that for PR purposes. They don't want their fighter looking weak, so they conjure up some injury excuse. Now, I can't tell you definitively that Martin Bakole wasn't injured in the Michael Hunter fight. I'm just pointing out, again, the fact that there's a double standard at play here. Why is it whenever people talk about Bakole's loss to Michael Hunter, oh, he was injured, oh, that doesn't really count. But with everybody else, it counts. Stop making excuses. You see what I'm saying? And you go back and look at that fight between Michael Hunter and Martin Bakole. Bakole was using both hands throughout the fight. I don't recall a time in the fight where Bakole was only using one hand, because that's what you would get if somebody's got a real severe injury. For all, if not most of that fight, as far as I can recall, Bakole was using both hands. And it's not like there was a moment in the fight where Bakole was dominating and then all of a sudden the tide turns and Michael Hunter gets on top and you're thinking, what's going on with Bakole? No, it wasn't like that. Michael Hunter was getting the better of it from very early on when Bakole was fresh. And as I say, was using both hands. So I just say to people, give Michael Hunter credit for that win. He also beat Sergey Kuzmin, had that draw with Povetkin. I thought he was a little unfortunate against Povetkin. I reckon he did enough to get the win. I don't think a draw was a horrible result, but I do feel as though Hunter just shaded it. Since that time, of course, Hunter has made certain decisions in his career which I think have backfired on him. He ducked the Filip Hrgović fight after previously saying he'd take it and previously saying he would fight for free, I think. He ducked it. There's no other way to describe it. He went and signed a deal with Triller. I have to imagine he thought they were going to make him rich. I don't know whether they did or not. But one of his fights on there was a rematch with an old foe, Jerry Forrest. He'd beaten Forrest early on in his career quite comfortably. In the rematch, he did horrible against Forrest. And most people, including myself, think that Forrest should have got the decision over Michael Hunter. But I believe it was officially a draw. Then he was lined up to fight Hughie Fury, but that fight fell through twice because of Fury's health. And so now he's in limbo. He doesn't have a promoter. He doesn't have any fight scheduled. He's just moving around, trying to talk to different people. I think he's going back and forth with Joseph Parker at the moment on social media. That's a potential fight he's looking at. I believe he's talked to Ben Shalom. And Martin Bakole now, of course, has also signed with Ben Shalom. So is that a fight that Ben Shalom would be interested in for Martin Bakole? Never mind what Bakole and Billy Nelson say. Would that be a fight that Sky and Shalom are interested in right now? Because obviously they've just made an investment in him. You look at Michael Hunter, he's not really a big ticket seller. He's obviously not from the UK. Martin Bakole isn't either, but he's at least based in the UK. So is the reward worth the risk with regards to a rematch with Michael Hunter for Martin Bakole? Remember, he took a beating that night. He remembers the beating he took. Billy Nelson remembers the beating he took. And in fact, there was a moment in that fight where Martin Bakole wanted to quit. Go back and watch it. It's on YouTube. Martin Bakole was telling Billy Nelson he couldn't continue. He wanted to quit. And Billy Nelson had to beg Martin Bakole to continue in the fight. You think they're going to forget something like that? They won't. So while I would like to see a rematch between the pair of them, I'm skeptical about it happening anytime soon. I don't think that Team Bakole will be particularly keen on that right now. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. But that's what I'm thinking at this point. So why would Billy Nelson and Bakole be coming out claiming they're interested in this rematch with Michael Hunter, let's say in Bakole's next fight when they're actually not? Well, Michael Hunter seems to think it's just clout, PR, that they're just trying to build Bakole's name back up. And when people start inspecting his record and seeing that he's got a stoppage loss to Michael Hunter, they can say, hey, we're interested in that rematch. That wasn't the real Martin Bakole. He was injured. This, that, and the other. We've even tried to make a fight with Hunter recently, but he don't want it. He hasn't looked good recently. Martin Bakole's been looking $1 million, that kind of thing. And I guess a lot of the fans are going to buy that. But personally, I struggle to believe that Michael Hunter, who back then when he fought Martin Bakole, was a big underdog going into the fight. Remember, Bakole is based in the UK. Michael Hunter was a foreign fighter, fighting in front of Bakole's fans. So I struggle to believe that a guy who beat Bakole under those circumstances would all of a sudden be afraid to fight Bakole now. What I will say, however, is he would probably want more financial compensation to take a rematch with Bakole at this point, given the fact he did win first time out, and the fact that he's gone on to have some fairly decent paydays since. His attitude might be, look, if you want the opportunity to get revenge, then that's going to cost you. You can't treat me like the B-side as I was last time. A fight that might be easier to negotiate, might be more straightforward, is another boxer Ben Shalom fighter in Joseph Parker. They've expressed interest in fighting each other, Parker and Hunter. They've been going back and forth on social media. Hunter says they've agreed to fight verbally, in principle, but whether an actual boxing contest in the ring materializes remains to be seen. If that fight were to happen, I'd be picking Michael Hunter. The only doubt in my mind with regards to that fight for Hunter is the inactivity. He's been out the ring a very long time indeed. It's over a year. Whereas Joseph Parker has been active. He hasn't been looking impressive. Certainly didn't look impressive last time out against Jack Massey. And obviously lost prior to that against Joe Joyce. So the activity favors Parker. But I just feel as though Michael Hunter is the better fighter with the better skills. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about Michael Hunter striking back at Martin Bakole and Billy Nelson, calling BS on their claim that they offered Hunter the fight recently. Drop your comments in the comment section below.
Are you sick and tired of the mainstream mindset? Does the dogmatic conformity and pathological ignorance have you tearing your hair out in frustration? Then don't be alone. Come and join our brotherhood on Patreon. We stand as a beacon of reason against an army of insanity. You'll gain access to my weekly topical podcast where we take more deep dives than Jacques Cousteau on an endless variety of subjects. There's also videos, interviews, live Q&As, as well as a vast back catalogue of previous episodes, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen via the Patreon app or download in high-quality MP3. Connect with myself and hundreds of other members in our Element chat group. There's no contract, no commitment, you can cancel at any time, and it's cheaper than a Mickey D's McMuffin. Just head to my Patreon page via the link below this video and select the tier called the Brotherhood of Reason. I'll see you over there.